Today's session is practical tips for motivational interviewing. We welcome you to Free and One Training Institute. This is an online option that we provide staff development training and individual training because our purpose is to make training available to all. You can email us at fnotraining@gmail.com. I'm Dr. Simmons. I'll be your instructor today as we talk about practical tips to implement motivational interviewing techniques. Sometimes they call it MI techniques. Whether you're new to this material or you want to engage clients or you want to just refine your skills, I think you will be enlightened with the core principles and the power of helping others to make a change in their lives. So come on, let's get started about the introduction of motivational interviewing. What is motivational interviewing? It's helping people with their process to change. As we see in the photo, we're helping a person up. It is helping people, but it's about the process of change. How do we get to this point of motivational interviewing? What does it mean? What actually happened? It actually was started in 1983 by Dr. William Miller, who worked with alcoholics, and he found this as a good avenue that he had very good success with motivational interviewing. And how we get started, we ask questions. We have to have questions. We have to understand what the issues are that would prevent a person from changing, and why are they stuck in one area of their lives that they can't move forward. It could be an alcoholic, it could be an addict, it could be a person that want to make a change in their life or in their career, because all of it to me is motivational interviewing, where you can help a person understand what their issues are. And the only way you're going to find that out is that you have questions. And then you have to understand, what do they value? Because everybody has the power to change. They can change themselves. But sometimes when we have resistance, you will have resistance if you push too hard, and if it's not a positive position that you're taking, but you're forcing them to resist your suggestions. So you want to work together in a more positive outcome, and that's why we call it motivational interviewing. You don't have to have a Superman or Superwoman syndrome where you have to be the fix all for their lives, because they have the power to change. And that's what we want to talk about today. What is motivational interviewing? Motivational interviewing is a way of talking to people to help them find their own reasons to make those changes. And that's one of the reasons why we ask those questions, to find out as we continue to collaborate with them. And we collaborate with them by talking to them and posing the correct questions, because we're actually partnering with them to help them find the answers themselves, because they have so many questions. Using motivational interviewing is when a person or a client is unsure or has mixed feelings about making a change. I remember, and sometimes you want to change, the person wants to change, just don't know how to get there. And sometimes the dialogue can help them get to where they need to go with your assistance. We help people explore their own reasons to overcome their doubts about change. I remember at one point in my life where my husband was asking me to go to the gym with him, and I was resistant to the pressure of going to the gym with him for my own personal reasons. Number one, he went at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I did not want to wake up that early to go to the gym. I wanted the results of going to the gym, but not at 4 o'clock in the morning. So I had to explore my own reasons why I had doubt about making a change in that area. But motivational interviewing is about open-ending question. Let them explain in their own words what they feel. It's affirmation. Say something positive about them. It's reflective listening. Repeat back what they say to show that you understand, and you sum it up from what you discuss. Because when we think of oars, OAR, we think about the boat rolling. But if you look at the picture in the diagram, it's is coming together as a collaborative effort to understand. You, once again, you are not making a change for them, but they're going to make the change. But you need to have a discussion with them, an interview process with them, where you say, well, what do you value? Well, what would you like to get out of it? And let them explain in their own words what their hesitations are about the change. Let them explain in their own words why they haven't made the change or why it's so difficult. But you have to make sure you're listening. And it says reflective listening. And reflective listening is meaning that you give back to them what you thought you heard to show that you understand, where you respond and say, oh, so you're saying that you don't want to go to the gym because it's 4 in the morning. That's how you do it. So, and you sum up what you discuss. If you take the time and you have an interview session, a motivational interview session, you can sum up what you guys discuss at the end, but make sure the only way you're going to get to the bottom of what's really happening is to get the collaboration and the partnership together with open-ended questions. Because after that, you empower the people. We guide them, but they decide what's best for them. You guide them, you build trust. It helps people feel understood and not judged, meaning that you can build the trust with a person and they will give you more of what they feel or what their hesitation is, because change is difficult for everybody. It creates a collaborative relationship when you empower people to let them decide for themselves, because change can happen from that person's perspective. And you encourage them, and that builds the trust. You encourage them by saying, oh, I agree with you, or yes, you can do that, or that is possible. And it builds them up. And when you build them up, then they have the tools to make their own change, because you don't want to be in a relationship, once again, where you push too hard and they feel that you don't really understand what their problem is, because then you've lost the battle in motivational interviewing. So you want to make sure that you understand what is motivational interviewing. It's about change. It is about change, and that's what we really want. That's the bottom line. You want a person to change. You want to do it with sincere compassion and empathy. You want to make sure that the people have they understand that you understand for best results to collaborate with them as a partner, that you've encouraged them to make their own decisions, that you had empathy and compassion, you had discussions with them, you summarized the relationship or the discussion that you had with them to show that you understood their position. And then they can make that change. If they don't make it that day, they can make it later, but they understand you may be the one that plant the seed for change, and somebody else may come around and trigger them, and they make the change and water the seed that grows. But you cannot have the pushing and the Superman syndrome that you are in charge of fixing somebody else, because you are not in charge of fixing somebody else. You give them back their power. You understand why they're stuck. You understand what they value, and you support them with sincere empathy and compassion. And then you will have a successful motivational interviewing process. Well, in closing, I'd like to thank you so very much. Once again, this is Dr. Simmons, and you can email me at fnotraining@gmail.com. And I just want to encourage you that you can do this process. You can help somebody else, because I believe that God uses ordinary people to do extraordinary things, and you may just be that one. Thank you for letting me be of service. I hope to see you soon.